Hello, everyone. It's MG the Realtor, your go to guide for commercial real estate in Central Florida. And today I'm going to cover a very crucial topic if you're thinking about tapping into commercial real estate, and that is commercial leases. They're very different from a residential lease, and I'm going to cover the top 5 things that you need to know before you get into a commercial lease. And I promise you, the knowledge that I'm going to share with you today is going to be your guiding compass to help you reach a successful transaction and also to stay safe. So, as usual, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. And without further ado, let's jump right in. So, point number one are types of leases. There's a couple of different types of leases that you might see out there in the commercial world. One of them is modified gross, and that is just whatever they say the rent is, that's what you pay. Everything else is included. It's pretty much a no brainer. You don't see those too often, but what you do see in the commercial world often is a triple net lease. Now, what is a triple net lease? It means that what you're paying for rent is covering three different net fees or charges. One is the base rent, the other one's property taxes, the other one is insurance. And on top of that, they usually tack on what's called a CAM. CAM is just short for common area maintenance. The landlord might pass on these expenses to you to be able to maintain the common area, do the irrigation, do the landscaping, do the minor cosmetic fixes around the buildings. That's what CAM will cover. So a triple net lease will be your base rent plus taxes and insurance and the CAM, whatever that is. So make sure that when you are negotiating these leases, and it is a triple net lease, you get all those fees outlined on your lease so that you know what you're paying per square foot for your CAM, and you know what you're paying for per square foot for your base rent. That way, it'll keep you safe, and you'll know what you're actually being charged for. Point number two, lease terms and negotiations. So let's talk about the lease terms and negotiations. The length of your lease, the renewal options, and the rent adjustments are all critical factors in a commercial lease. It's not like a residential lease where you only sign for 1 year. In commercial world, you're signing for 3, 5, 7, 10, 15 years. And maybe you're not ready to sign a 10-year lease. Maybe you need to stick to a 3-year lease because it's a new venture. So negotiation is an art, and a well negotiated lease can set the stage for a successful venture, especially if you're new in the business and you're just starting to grow. Always keep those critical factors in mind: the lease terms, the renewal options, which in this case, if you sign a 5-year lease, you want to be able to give yourself that first right of refusal when the 5 years is up to sign again, or to not sign the lease and not renew the lease. So you always want to give yourself that opportunity, because down the line, if your business is doing well and a lot of it is contributed to the location, you're not going to want to leave from there. So make sure that you also look into the renewal terms, and the adjustments are so critical. Every year, your lease could go up 3%, 4%, 5%. And if that is not outlined in your lease, then you could get an increase without knowing it that is just an exuberant amount, and you're out of luck. So you got to make sure that on your lease negotiations, you outline that you're capping the increases at a certain percentage, just so that you can budget for those 5 years, 7, 10 years, whatever the term is going to be. Point number three, CAM. Let's dive a little bit deeper into the common area maintenance, because depending on how the landlord calculates those costs, it could dramatically affect how much you're actually paying every month. Let's take, for example, you are looking at a commercial lease and this is a standalone building. Well, in this case, you're not going to have any other tenants that are going to share those costs with you. So most of the time, you're assuming the entire responsibility of the common area maintenance for that building, as opposed to going into a retail strip, for example, where you have multiple tenants within that building. Those common area expenses are usually shared expenses, so it's not as high of an impact on you as if you had an individual building. And understanding how CAM fees are calculated is crucial to managing your budget effectively. Point number four, zoning. So let's dive into zoning. Zoning regulations are local law that divide areas into different zones. Each specific allowable land has different zoning, has different uses, and these regulations are designed to promote orderly development and protect the well-being of the communities. What does that mean? Well, if you wanted to have a warehouse for manufacturing and distribution, you're probably not going to be able to set up next to a retail center or within a retail center, because it's not an allowable use. You would need to find a warehouse that's within an industrial zoning. So being able to understand the zoning requirements for your business and making sure that it is compatible with the commercial space that you're looking to lease is crucial to stay safe and to have a successful transaction. And last but not least, point number 5 is consult an expert. Besides reaching out to a commercial real estate agent, which is the best thing that you can do if you're going to jump into a commercial lease, there are also other professionals within the industry that can help navigate this transaction. For example, real estate attorneys, urban planners, engineers, zoning specialists, they can all give you insight into the potential changes or the current regulations that might actually impact your business. And there you have it, folks. The top 5 things that you absolutely need to know before getting into a commercial lease. Now, if you found this video valuable, show me some love by hitting that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the commercial real estate world here in Central Florida.